Our group is S1-19, and we chose Hard Skip the Beat, which is an indie song. It's narrative based and it's a duet between a male and a female.
In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
We looked at various indie bands for inspiration for the costumes and locations, such as the Kooks and Razorlight. We also looked at duets such as Broken by Seether and looked at camera angles and various filters and the conventions of indie music videos.
We didn't want the lyrics and visuals to match all the way throughout the song because it's narrative based, but then with bits where we specifically wanted them to match, like when with both characters writing on graffiti on a wall, Hard Skipped a bit and it matches the same on the video as well.
How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary texts?
We looked at different digipacks and magazine adverts of other bands to get inspiration for our own and find out which information they had on it. The information they did have on it was the record label, rating, website, reviews, where to buy it, the release date and the song or band name. We had a look on the XX's MySpace and website and we found out that their record label that they used was Young Turks. So we included that on our magazine advert and our digipack. We thought that the filter that we used in our music video made it quite iconic in the way it portrayed the atmosphere, so we wanted to carry this style on in the magazine ad and the digipack because we thought it would be beneficial in the advertising process.
And with the the products, all the different elements complemented each other, like with the costumes and stuff, and they all tied really well in with the indie genre. Our 3 products, they all tied in really well together because we made sure to use the same location with the graffiti to have a recurring theme, and we added the same filter on all 3 of our products, and we made sure that all the time the actors were wearing the same costumes, so they all tied in well together, and the filters gave it a really nice, like, warm, like, appealing feel to it, so that on the shops it would stand out more on the shelves.
What have you learnt from your audience feedback?
We pitched for what we had to do in front of our class. We made a PowerPoint presentation. We had pictures of the location on there and a description of what we were going to do. We kept to our main story, we didn't make any changes. And the feedback we got was good. We just had to check out the health and safety of the barn and try and get permission from the owner, but we weren't able to do this because we couldn't find who owned the barn. But we checked it out and it was pretty safe, so we went ahead with it.
After putting the rough cut on the blog, we got some feedback from our classmates and teacher. The positive feedback was that we had good varied shots, strong mise en scene, they liked the location in the barn and it fit the indie genre, and that we had good costumes. The negative feedback, which we could improve on, which was that we need to reshoot the first verse because it was slightly out of sync and we couldn't get it in. We needed to make the ending clearer because it kind of just ended and didn't really fit the narrative, and add a filter because this whole setting is quite South France-y, warm kind of feeling, so we needed to add a warm filter to it so it wasn't so bland. Change the order of some of the shots because they were all quite cut up and didn't fit the narrative, and some of the shots that we did change was like the one when they were writing graffiti and we put it backwards and faster to make it more interesting to
we used the same font on the digipack and the magazine ads, which we got feedback from the digipack, and as we put it as a track list, we got comments saying that it was too mechanical, so we actually changed the font on the track list to a more smoother and curvier type font, which made it easy to read and it looks nicer as well. The weather was pretty good. It did start to get cold towards the end of the day, and as I had to wear a dress, it did get quite cold. But the only problem we came across was when our battery died in the camera. Obviously we couldn't charge it anyway because we were in a bar and there was no electricity. So we had to go to a nearby house and leave the camera there for half an hour. And luckily we found a nice couple who said that they would charge the camera for us. And then with that we managed to get enough battery to finish our film.
Regarding the music and visuals, we used a lot of ghosting effects and changed the pace of the music to the instrumentals. So we did a lot of cutting different shots over each other and changed the opacities to give it a kind of like, as though you're looking for someone or you're lost or you're remembering old times, like a bit of an eerie effect. And to like the cutaways in the beginning and throughout the piece, we cut all the different bits to the pace of the music. In terms of notions of looking, when the two artists were doing their lip syncing, we always had them looking directly into the camera. And also when we were doing our cutaways on the sofa when the two vocalists weren't singing, we had them looking directly into the camera at the audience.
In terms of genre characteristics, we made sure that we included everything to make sure that you could tell that it was an indie music video. So such as things like the costume, making them quite simple, and the simplistic setting in the barn. It wasn't in a big busy city where you've got loads of things going on. Okay, in a stereotypical indie music video, there's quite a lot of shots of the artist mainly, and then a few other shots of to set the location. So that's why we had all of the singing parts with the vocalists in, and then some establishing shots, which kind of built up a whole kind of theme to it, an atmosphere.
Use new media technologies in the construction and research planning and evaluation stages.
Overall, we worked well together as a group, and our piece came out as effective and as enjoyable as we wanted it to be. The whole time we kept within the pitch.